Peter Obi arrives Ibadan for campaign despite federal government grounding his Obi-Dient aircraft. Wow. So this guy has the energy and is going along with his wife. This is great. So even though there are some regulatory requirements that were claiming that made them to ground the aircraft, Peter Obi still found his way to Ibadan for the rally, and he did it very well. God will protect this man so that they don't expose him to attack. All right? So Peter Obi arrives in Ibadan for campaign despite federal government grounding his Obi-Dient aircraft. So let's see more details. The Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi finally arrived in Ibadan to a jubilant crowd after the federal government grounded his Obi-Dient aircraft. The federal government grounded the private aircraft on Wednesday while the presidential candidate was on his way to Ibadan for LP's Labour Party's presidential campaign. The head of the media of the Obi-Dient campaign, Diron Onifade, made this known in a tears statement on Wednesday. The statement was shared by the former Anambra governor candidate and Labour Party stalwart Oseloka Obaze via his Twitter page. Onifade claimed that the plane was grounded for regulatory reasons by the Nigerian authorities, asking Obi supporters to ignore any mischievous rumor regarding the incident. The Labour Party chieftain, however, stated that the party's massive rally in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, will still hold as planned. He said the Obi-Dient plane was grounded today by the powers that be for regulatory reasons only. Please ignore any mischievous rumors. Our massive rally in Ibadan is ongoing as planned. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. So what they're saying here is that irrespective of the grounding of the plane, that the rally as planned in Ibadan was still ongoing. All right. And they are coming here to tell us that the plane was grounded for regulatory reasons. All right. So it means that there are regulatory reasons, there are regulatory requirements that are meant to be in place for the plane to fly. But probably some of the requirements were not actually in place, and that is why they grounded the plane. All right, so that is a very good one, and they're also coming out to admonish everybody and to encourage everybody to dispel or disregard any form of mischievous rumor that probably the plane was grounded to frustrate Peter Obi, because that is actually what the message that came to everybody's head when they heard that the plane was grounded by the government. What came to everybody's mind is that the government is trying to frustrate Labour Party, trying to frustrate Peter Obi because he's making waves. Everybody had that same mindset. So it's also good that they came out here to clarify the air that the plane was grounded for regulatory reasons, and everybody should disregard every form of mischievous rumor claiming that it was shut down for some other political reasons. And this is a very good clarification. Anyway, irrespective of that, Peter Obi still found his way straight to Ibadan, where the crowd was already waiting, where Ayo Adebanjo and his Afenifere team were also already there waiting for him to arrive. So one good thing Peter Obi is doing is that he will grace the occasion, and he has energy. God is helping him, and he will make it. All right. And the reports came out that occasion was also hugely successful. People were there. The crowd that came out was tumultuous, jubilant crowd. That was the word used, jubilant crowd, jubilating on his arrival, jubilating on the presumed success of Labour Party, and moving on. Okay, so we don't know what's happening to that plane now, whether they're working on it to get all the requirements met. I'm sure most of those requirements are periodic inspections, actually. Maybe reports to show that they are airworthy, the airworthiness of the plane. Those are most of the things that actually will put the plane down, meaning it wasn't airworthy. For those who are into aviation, they will understand better. But the fact here is that Peter Obi obviously will not violate the law, and he's not going to challenge the government on that. So if the plane actually had some regulatory requirements that he did not meet, so be it. Let the plane be on the ground there. They will pay, and then the plane will be inspected, and the reports will be updated. Peter Obi is not an aviation minister, he's not an aircraft pilot, so he wouldn't have known. But the truth here is that he's not going to violate the law. So let the plane be grounded, let all the requirements be put in place before he will resume the use of that plane again for the campaign process. But the fact here remains that whether the plane is there or not there, the campaign continues, rallies continues, and Peter Obi will look for alternative logistic means to attend all his rallies as may be required. And that is one good thing about his movement. He's on the way and he's moving on. Okay? We're told that that rally too was hugely great. All right? And Padebajo being there too made it successful, and everybody was very happy. That old man of that age, that's over 90 years, made his way to that place with his group to make sure that the rally was successful. Even though there's controversy within the Afenifere that the Yorubas are not supporting Peter Obi and Labour Party, they are supporting Tinubu. Now they have come out to clear the air, all right, that the group that actually supported Tinubu at Akure in the house of Paruben Fasoranti actually did not call for that meeting under Afenifere platform. They called under a different WhatsApp group that they used to make that call. Moreover, what they are doing in supporting Labour Party and Peter Obi is that when Fasoranti was handing over to Paruben Adebanjo, they agreed that they will not allow any, or they will not continue to support any section of the country dominating the entire nation. And they have laid out all the analysis that from 1979 of Shagari to today, the Hausas have been dominating, the Yorubas have been in power, but Igbos have never been in power. So where is the equity, justice, and fairness in that? All right? So the thing here is that they are trying to change the narrative by ensuring that they do not allow one section of the country to continue to dominate the entire nation. So what is happening here is that Pa Ayo Adebanjo and his group are actually the valid group of the Afenifere. Every other one is fake, and that is how it is. All right? So it means that the blessing that Tinubu got from Pa Fashoranti Ruben in Akure was a personal blessing that he got from that old man and not an Afenifere blessing. That is it. Even though another group came out, they called themselves New Afenifere, they went their own way and then adopted and endorsed Kwakwanso of NNPP. Is also just a way to further divide them. All right? But the truth here is that Afenifere under Pa Ayo Adebanjo is the original and the genuine Afenifere group. That is how it goes. Somebody was saying that there's no problem. Anybody that Afenifere support, you normally fail because they support Atiku and Atiku failed. And another person has also come out to counter it. But when Tinubu wanted to be governor of Lagos State, he was supported by Afenifere and he won. So anybody that Afenifere supports can also win. But it's not about anybody that Afenifere is supporting. It's about the integrity, the personality, and the acceptability of the candidate and the political party. All right, and the rationale behind the support. That is what matters most. So Pa Adebanjo was at that rally yesterday with Peter Obi and his group, and it was a very successful outing. The report here is that irrespective of the grounding of that aircraft, Peter Obi still made his way to that campaign and attended it, and it was successful. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment as well.